The best time to visit Canada is during fall months, when mild temperatures and vibrant fall foliage make scenic drives, hiking, and outdoor exploration especially enjoyable. Travel guides often highlight autumn, especially from late September through October, as a peak season for color changes in Ontario, Quebec, and other regions of the country.
Charlie Parker noticed that the solos were only improvised through the melodies, but that he could also improvise them through the chords, thus creating new variations over the structure of the songs, and also playing more notes and faster.
Located at the heart of two world-famous cities, Liverpool and London. Liverpool's excellence in teaching, learning, and research, first-class facilities, and outstanding support places the university in the top 1% of universities worldwide. The University of Liverpool will provide you with an inspiring student experience in a diverse international community.
Schools host parent-teacher conferences 4 times a year, and it is important for families to attend. This is your chance to meet with teachers and ask questions about your child's progress. It can be helpful to write down questions ahead of time.
The most obvious change is that 46% of college undergraduates are now women. When I went there, it was only the 3rd year that women had been admitted, and then seemingly grudgingly, about 70% of students were male, and if there was a woman tutor, she must have been a male impersonator.
A study found that the research funded by the soft drinks industry had different results from research funded by other sources, and went on to suggest that they may have been biased by the research itself. The whole point of the scientific methods is to ensure the research results are not influenced by the source of funding.
The world's fifth largest continent, Antarctica, is almost entirely covered by thick ice. The area sustains varied wildlife including seals, whales, and penguins. The Antarctic Treaty signed and enforced there after provides for international governance of Antarctica.
Your body is nearly 2/3 water, and so it is really important that you consume enough fluid to stay hydrated and healthy. If you don't get enough fluid, you may feel tired, get headaches, and not perform at your best.
To some extent, attendance at cultural venues and events is influenced by a person's age and the composition of the household in which they live. For example, those people in households with dependent children were more likely to visit zoological parks and aquariums than people living in single-person households. Your tutor helps you make the most of your time at university by giving you guidance and support along the way. All new students are allocated a personal tutor who will encourage you to get the most out of your course, direct you to other sources of support, and help you achieve your goals.
A community's urban forest is an extension of its pride and community spirit. Trees enhance community economic stability by attracting businesses and tourists as people tend to linger and shop longer along tree-lined streets. Apartments and offices in wooded areas rent more quickly, and businesses leasing office spaces in developments with trees reported higher productivity and fewer absences.
Agricultural problems due to climate change of normal weather, water depletion, and the collapse of soil have become big problems in all parts of the world. Many are now focusing on ethics and family farming as a way to combat these issues.
The bill calls for the establishment of the National Landslide Hazards Reduction Program within 1 year of becoming law. The program serves numerous functions, including to identify and understand landslide hazards and risks, reduce losses from landslides, protect communities at risk of landslides hazards, and improve communication and emergency preparedness.
Regular exercise releases brain chemicals key for memory, concentration, and mental sharpness at the same time as lifting your mood and lowering stress and anxiety, all of which contribute to brain health. Studies show that regular exercise helps you manage complex tasks, organize and razor-sharp your focus, which is great for those long revision sessions or particularly complex exam questions.
An industry or workplace often has its own terms for certain items, places, or groups of people, and university is no different. Here we have attempted to explain some of the terms you may come across on our websites that are specific to higher education.
There is no single method of learning that guarantees success. How we learn that depends on many different factors. And what works best for you will not necessarily be that same as the approach used for the other students, even they study the same course. We are all unique as learners, although some patterns emerge in all groups of students.
It seems that language appeared from nowhere, since no other species has anything resembling human language. However, other animals do possess basic systems for perceiving and producing sounds that enable them to communicate. These systems may have been in place before the appearance of language.
Teenage girls are continuing to outperform boys in English, while the gender gap in achievements in math and science has almost disappeared. The figures show that last year, 80% of 14-year-old girls reached at least the expected level 5 in English, compared with 65% of boys. But in math, the girls are just 1% ahead of boys.
In classes, your teachers will talk about topics that you are studying. The information that they provide will be important to know when you take tests. You must be able to take good written notes from what your teachers say. Major breeding areas and breeding islands are shown as dark green areas or darts. Open darts show no breeding records on islands and are also used for offshore sightings, that is, from ships or boats. Other areas where species is not meant to be seen are plain pale green, with pale green hatching where records are usually sparse.
The elephant is the largest living land mammal. During evolution, its skeleton has greatly altered from the usual mammal design for two main reasons. One is to cope with the great weight of hug, grinding cheek teeth and elongated tusk, making the skull particularly massive. The other is to support the enormous bulk of such a huge body.
Yellow is considered as the most optimistic color. Yet surprisingly, people lose their tempers most often in yellow rooms, and babies will cry more. The reason may be that yellow is the hardest color for eyes to take in, so it can be overpowering if overused. Hundreds of millions of people eat fast food every day without giving it much thought. They just unwrap their hamburgers and dig in. An hour or so later, when the burgers are all gone and wrappers were tossed in the bin, the whole meal has already been forgotten.